Once we go through all the interviews, we'll decide who's going to be the best fit and who we want. It's a competition. I mean, we have to pick the best recruits for this program.
Can they reapply if they don't get in the first time?
Yes.
We've had guys that we've kicked out that we've let reapply. We've got one getting ready to come in that this will be his second opportunity if we let him in.
We let this individual, he was one of the first ones to come into the program. And he battered somebody on the unit, and he was sent out to another unit. And he's begged to come back to this unit, without exaggeration.
To know the guys to like him. I mean, it's hard not to, but you also got to weigh in what he's done.
Yeah, because to make the example that let the general population know if you come in, you just can't do what you usually do in your old units. If you do it, you will get out of here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing with that.
There's been one person we let back into the program, and it didn't work out. They lasted about a month, and they were a behavior problem just like they were last time. So the chance for getting a second shot at this program is not good. But it's always possible. We consider everybody.
Case by case. Who we got coming in next?
Who do you guys want to do next? Now, the problem I see, ma'am, is we're getting ready to run over. I'm thinking I got the Navy's probably. Well, you know what? No, it's only 12:30. I tried to call him earlier. I'm a little concerned, and he didn't pick up his phone. So they'll probably call me when they come. So when
And
they,
you know what? We won't be interviewing like this after every one. I want to just get it after the first one,
Yeah.
so you can just
Keep going.
roll
okay.
through.
The okay, we'll do Dylan, and then we'll do Neely.
How long are you guys gonna film the interviews? Because you're gonna film them all.
Is the one coming in the second time around?
Whit.
Can you do Whit?
I want to tell you what the one we need to do is Neely.
Yeah, I'd like you to do
Whit?
Neely and Whit both.
Okay.
But I think that they need
That's
to see
fine.
Whit.
Okay.
Because it's the second opportunity.
Sure.
Pay attention to how likable this guy
Oh yes,
Okay.
he's very polite.
is.
This
And try and
is,
figure out whether it's genuine or not.
Who's coming first? Where's the beginning? Okay.
Good luck, bro. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Pick your head up, man.
Trying, man.
Don't be nervous.
Have a seat.
You know us all.
Mr. Witt. Been here before.
Yes, sir.
Why you want to come back to the unit?
Because I realized that me leaving too early at that was not the best in my nature. I'm on 14. I've been over there for like 3 months now, and it's just been negative for me. I can't do anything positive because of my actions and just getting mad all the time. I was never mad over here. I just didn't feel I was really ready to be over here at that time.
Why did you get taken off the unit?
I requested to go, but the other instructor, he really didn't want me to go. He wanted me to stay. So I battered somebody. And
Who was it?
Fields, Joshua Fields. He's in D complex now. But yeah, I battered him.
Why?
Huh?
Why did you batter him?
Because I didn't want to be over here, and then I heard some stuff that he did about me. So I just took my anger out at that time.
What's different now?
Different now, I feel that I'm ready to be back over here. I've showed you how much I want to come over here, even though I know I've been said. I can't be in 14 no more, man, because everything I do is just basically negative, and I don't want to be in a bad environment anymore. I want to come back over here.
When's the last time you've had a major? For what?
Last week for fighting.
For battery?
Yes, sir.
On who?
Smith.
Is he in 14?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You think he would have got that battery if he was in 15?
No, sir.
Why?
I'm cool with everybody. I've basically been locked up with everybody in here in 15, and McPheeters is always trying to help me, so I feel that he could have prevented me from hitting anybody, even if I was mad on the point of hitting someone.
How have you learned to channel your anger without resorting to violence since the
Usually,
last time?
I talk to McPheeters a lot. You might not believe it, I promise I do, because he's always been a positive pair throughout my DOC time with him. And he calms me down like maybe a month ago, I was about to get in a fight, and he grabbed me, he pulled me away from the dude I was about to fight.
What's going to happen when Peters isn't there?
Then I'm gonna have to just use the skills that he taught me and the skills that I already know.
Now, haven't you been through any anger management training since you've been here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When was that?
When I first got here.
You went through anger management training. Okay. And you completed the program?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any gang affiliation?
No, sir, not anymore. I stopped. When I left this unit, I stopped because it kept getting me in trouble.
What gang were you affiliated with?
Vice Lords.
Okay. How old are you?
16.
So how you been doing in school?
School, I've been slipping a lot. Sleeping. I quit dining hall because I wouldn't get enough sleep. I wouldn't get enough sleep, and I kept going to sleep in class, getting bad reports.
Because here in this unit, school is the most important too.
It was when I was over here the first time.
Okay. I want you to understand that that school is right up there with this program, and the respect for those teachers and counselors and
What have you noticed different about this program since the last time you were here?
More people keep trying to come over here, but that's about it. Everything's still consistent, still the same.
What are those things that that you see that's still consistent? What is that?
Everybody's still trying to come over here. They're getting everything down packed, like all they ranks and stuff. Most people got a GED, so they don't have problems.
What attracts you the most to this unit?
All the positive things about it. There's basically no negative things over
Specifically?
Yeah.
here. Specifically, like what?
What positive things makes you want to come over here?
Everybody's positive. Well, not everybody, but the majority of the environment is positive, and not that many people go to SEG like in E14.
Right. What benefits are you going to take from this unit?
Just try my hardest not to relapse into my old ways.
What benefits are you going to bring to the unit?
I sort of am a positive peer in my unit when people listen to me when I try to help them, but that's all I can do is try. So I can do that if I can come back over here.
I've worked with you a lot, and I know you're always positive to staff. You seem to have trouble with the other offenders. That doesn't happen in here, and you know that. What's your reaction going to be when you have another 16-year-old tell you what to do?
I didn't have problems with that when I was over here the first time.
Okay.
It was just me. I didn't feel I was ready. I never had a problem with having orders given to me.
Any problems with authority?
No.
I'll tell you, I know you really want back on this unit, and I was seriously considering it. I mean, very much. And we've been watching you. I will tell you, I was pretty disappointed when you got that major last week, for the same reason that got you out of here last time. Well, I was disappointed, but I was more concerned to think, what happens if we bring you back over here? Are you gonna batter somebody else on our unit?
No, I didn't batter anybody on the unit. I know I'm not. Well, you might consider me trying to make an excuse, but I don't have any problems with nobody over here, and that's my word.
Okay.
Pick your head up. Pick your head up. You got guys pulling for you. I mean, seriously, you've got guys pulling for you. We don't want to see you fall down any further.
So what happens if you don't get back on this unit?
I don't know, man. I really don't want to mess
Eventually,
up.
you're going to have to stop fighting
And go home.
and get your levels and move on. So I don't know that I could tell you anything I haven't already told you. I'm just concerned eventually you're going to be in a situation in this unit and there's going to be some kind of conflict, and I'm concerned how you're going to handle that conflict. In the past, you used to handle it with your fists and not your head. The temper is the concern. But I can tell you that right now, I enjoy being around you. I do. We sit down, we're talking here, you know, you're a pleasant young man. That's a true statement, and you know, that's not the problem. So I hope you don't take all this personally. We want to build you up. So.
And like he said, every time we sit down and talk about you,
Yep.
it's all positive. And then the next thing we know, we come in for our next shift and we can't find Whit because he's in segregation. And I just wonder, would you be in segregation if you was an E15? Because we want to teach you the skills that's going to keep you from going there.
Because if you're going to SEG, you're representing our unit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and if staff and other offenders see you going to SEG, then they be like, well, this unit ain't no different than the rest of the. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I want you to understand this. It doesn't matter whether you get on this unit or not. Eventually, you're going to have to learn how to handle your anger without fighting, whether it's here or in 14 or wherever. And once you do that, it's not going to matter what unit you're in with, and you'll be where you need to be.
You need to work on your self-confidence too. I mean, I've told you 100 times today to pick your head up and don't think negative. You've told me all day, I'm not going to get in, I'm not going to get in. We haven't even discussed you yet. You got to be positive about yourself or nobody else is.
And I told Ms. Blessinger last week in front of everybody that we were all considering bringing you in.
He said that in front of the superintendent, in front of the assistant superintendent. We got faith in you. You got to have faith in yourself.
But the consistent positive behavior. What level are you now?
3.
Level 3? Okay. You lost to level 2. You were level 4. Do you have placement issues still?
No, sir.
Who are you going to go live with when you get out of here?
My mom and dad,
When's the last time you talked to them?
maybe a month ago.
That's all I have.
Call your mom.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just have a seat outside.
It's tough to weed through
It's on deck now.
how much he's really upset over. You don't know. You don't know when he's playing and when he's real because he's the most believable guy I know.
Oh, no.
What?
You know, now that I just wanted to make a comment, but now that he has his placement, have you guys been around him in the past couple of weeks?
Oh, yeah.
Besides the battery, I mean, have you seen a difference in his attitude? I'm asking you that
He
question.
talks to me all the time. Yeah, he gives me updates all the time.
Do you think he's more happier now? Do you think so?
He's more comfortable. He knows where he's going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if you guys saw that difference change in him in the
Yeah.
past couple of weeks because it just recently came back.
That's why when he got this last battery charge, it was such a surprise.
See, and that's the whole thing. I was not going to consider him coming back to this unit because there's too many people want back in here, and because of the last time we let somebody back in here, it didn't work out. He was very consistent. He wanted back in here, and he said he wouldn't be a behavior problem, and he said he wasn't going to be any more problems. So we just watched and we waited and watched and we waited, and then when we finally considered bringing him back in, he had a battery charge and went to segregation. And I think right there, even though he just got his placement, so he had every reason to do the right thing, and he chose to get in a fight. And for me, right there, that's all I need
basketball
to.
game.
Do we know the circumstances?
It was a basketball game, and he felt like he had been fouled too many times. his coping skills are nil. So,
That's so typical of the anger and the impulsiveness.
hey, he's 16.
Yeah.
He's any high school.
14.
No, he's
No, he's 16.
I was talking about you.
Oh, I was like, did he just say he was 14?
No.
And I think, honestly, I think he wants out
I
of
say
14. He wants out of 14 more than he wants to be in 15. That's the big reason too. You have to take that in consideration because it's tough on the other units. This is the only unit. It's been almost 2 months since we had a minor fight. Last signal 1010. It's been 2 months, and it was probably 2 months before the last one. So there's not a lot of battery, very little battery, and it's very, when you're getting beat up, or you're in the fear of getting beat up, to see this place and everybody's getting along, and it's very appealing to just about anybody.
They all get to eat. There's situations, no matter how much staff tries to prevent it, the big dog always takes from the little dog. It doesn't happen over here. Everybody eats their fair share. Everybody gets the same thing everybody else gets.
Everybody, the offenders can go to sleep in peace, and
Yeah.
there's not a lot of chaos or chaotic. If you go into other units, it's just running around like a jungle.
I think that's because of the program, not because of the offender we have, because there's plenty of stuff that happens, but because of the program and our training, we know to deal with it immediately and address it. And again, the thing is here is, if you cross the line too many times, you're not going to be in the program. So that's their motivation. So they either do it because they want to do it, because it's the right thing to do, or they don't want to leave the program. So
I don't care if they do it out of respect for me.
it doesn't matter.
As long as they're weighing their options. They're learning how to weigh their options. If I do this,
Consequences.
I'm out of here. I don't care if he respects me. I would like that. I'd like to think I'm making a difference, but ultimately, as long as they weigh their consequences and make the right decision for whatever reason.
And that's what we're trying to gear them towards when they get out. Not only here, but the actions when they get released. And those type of thinking patterns that he was just not talking about, that's what that's the accomplishment. That's what we want. To them to think,
I liked what you said about his self-confidence
Yeah.
because he needed to hear that from you. Take your head up. I really liked the way that you dealt with that.
Like I said, it's hard because he always comes up and tries. I need to talk to you, Mercer, and it just sucks you in, and you feel like a confidant, and then you almost get like you get your level dropped when he goes to from a level 4 to a level 3. You feel like you've let somebody down because you couldn't. So, and I think sometimes he puts his head down. The first day he walked in out of segregation, he looked at me, and I didn't even know he was there. He apologized to me. I had to ask him why he was apologizing to me because he went to seg. So, when he lets somebody down, it bothers him.
Also, too, I look at it on the other side. Sometimes I feel like I'm being manipulated by him because he's apologizing because he don't want, I got in trouble, but I'm sorry, because I want you to still consider me for your program. And that's the reason this program is successful is because we hold people accountable.
And that's why.
All right, guys, I got one bottle of Windex missing. I need it ASAP. They called for the kids to be refilled. I need it.
That's our Sergeant Dixon. She will get that bottle of Windex too. She will have that bottle. We've been suckered in by guys before.
Yeah. Oh, what I was gonna say was that at least they to know the skills. Even if it's fake it to make it, they're still knowing
Absolutely.
the skills they're
Yeah.
doing it.
Absolutely.
So they're learning something. So he learned something. He knew that was disappointing to you. So he knew that he needed to apologize.
You look at
No
car
matter
salesmen.
Whether or not, right.
They're not happy all the time. It's their job. They have to fake it to make it.
Right.
As long as these kids understand that, sometimes
they're
you got to
learning.
be what you don't want to be to get by. Just get by. So, but we've been fooled. We brought guys in. I just brought a guy, Wright,
You're gonna.
just got reclassed to D9. He was one of my favorite people in here. When I came to this unit, I brought him with me. He wasn't here 2 weeks. He couldn't conform.
That's gonna happen. And like you said, I like Well, you said till about the first 2 weeks. I mean, that's their probationary period. That's
Yeah.
their time to show.
They don't even get to put a
they're-
uniform on.
They're gonna make it.